What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got Bellator 266, Davis versus Romero. Predictions, quick breakdown here, guys. I'm not going to spend too long on this card. I'm going to only be doing 7 fights in this card. Before I get started, subscribe to this channel, hit that thumbs up button, and check out my Patreon account where I would leave the face-off predictions, some prop bets, and some combination parlays. Let's get started. First fight here is Khalid Murtazaliev versus Anthony Adams. Khalid here. Remember him, he was in the UFC, fought CB Dalloway. Khalid is a pretty well-rounded guy, he can take this fight anywhere. He will look for the takedowns and grind. He kind of had that Khabib kind of style slightly. So this is a guy that will go for double and single legs and keep grinding. And, you know, can get a submission or a ground and pound, or even a decision. His opponent here, Adams, was in the Contender series, if you guys remember. He will close the distance on you, more use knees and elbows, more of a Muay Thai base there. He can get taken down, though. When he get taken down, you know, he doesn't change his position. He's kind of laying his back for the entire round, right? For this fight here, I'm liking Khalid. And I must say, Khalid by a decision, guys. All right? Next fight here, we have Neal versus Alex Polizzi. Neal here wants to keep this fight on the ground. He has a wrestling base, though, but his striking is, you know, it's in the works. It's not bad, but he uses the striking to set up his takedown. But his wrestling is very strong. Very athletic guy, very powerful once he gets you to the ground. Very heavy ground and pound, right? His opponent here, Alex. Alex striking needs work, man. In my opinion, Neal has a better striking here. His wrestling, you know, it's okay, but I feel Neal's wrestling is better because with Alex, he will lose position. You know, he will go for takedowns and there's sometimes he won't get it and you can reverse on him, right? But he will still grind though. But like I said, I feel that Neal is a better striker here and a better all-around game, you know, better on the wrestling also. So for that reasons, I'm going to go for Neal for the win here. And I'm going to say Neal by decision, guys. Next fight here, we have Christian Edwards versus Ben Perez. Christian Edwards here, man, fights long, kind of have that John Jones kind of vibe to him. Heavy body kicks, heavy head kicks. We'll look for the takedowns, look for submissions, nasty elbow knees in the clinch. I'm kind of liking Edwards here for the win. Ben Parrish here hasn't fought since 2019, coming off of a shin injury. He broke his leg, kind of like Anderson Silva or Chris Weidman kind of damage. You know, most of the guys that throw their kicks, but they don't rotate the hip over. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of throw it in a kind of a narrow kind of way. There's no rotation in the hip, so you kind of connect into the side of the shin, and that's where you break the leg. And usually catch the guy's knee. Even you can catch it shin to shin too and break it, but there's no rotation. You kind of just swing the leg out there, right? But this guy here, he's more of a submission guy. You know, he wants to take the fight to the ground. His stand-up is so. But like I said, he's coming off of injury. But for this fight, man, I'm liking Edwards, man. I mean, Edwards going to have the height here. He's going to have the reach, I believe. So I'm going with Edwards here, and I'm going to say TKO by Edwards in the first round. All right. So Edwards for the win there. Next fighter, we got Georgi Carrejano versus Shale Rogers. This could be a close fighter. Georgi is very well-rounded guy, man, very durable. He will look for the takedown, and his ground game is pretty good. I believe he's a BJJ black belt, and he would definitely look for the submission, man. He has a bunch of wins by submission. I believe like 19 wins by submission. I could be wrong about that, right? His stand-up is not been bad either, but this is a guy that's, you know, you keep pushing forward, and he's not going to give up, man. This guy here has a mental, and he has the heart. Shale Rogers here, he has the 4-inch of reach and he has the 2-inch of height, which is massive, and he's pretty well rounded too, and he will look for the ground and also submissions. But with Rogers, he will drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? He would definitely drop the ball. On a mental thing, I feel Georgi, you know, is more mentally on, right? And on the physical, the mental control, the physical, I feel that Georgi is more of a durable fighter here. So I'm liking Georgi for the win here, and I'm gonna say Georgi by a second round submission, guys. All right. Next fight here, we have DeAnna Bennett versus Andrea Lara. This is a very close one, guys, and this one can go either way. Bennett, in my opinion, is more experienced. You know, she fought in a lot of Bellator Invicta I believe she was in the UFC also. She's a very, very experienced, way more experienced than Lara, right? She can take this fight anywhere. Her striking has gotten better over the years, but her maintenance are wrestling, and she will grind for a win. And if you're not that experienced, she would definitely pull off a win on you. Remember, experience goes a long way, right? With Lara here is more of a stand-up, kind of have more of a, I would say more of a karate, more a taekwondo kind of base there. But she can get taken down though. And I would say Lara has a better kicks here, maybe slight better striking, but the experience and the cage control, the durability, the consistency to keep pushing forward, the mental, I have to give that to Bennett. Lara gonna have the 3-inch of height and a 3-inch of reach, which is massive, but Lara can get taken down and is experienced in, man. I feel Lara is more experienced, even though, Lara fought, Julian Velasquez, she fought McFerrin, you know what I'm saying? She has little wins here and there, but I just feel that, I feel Bennett is way more experienced, and she can take this fight anywhere. She's not the best stand-up like what Lara have, but she can definitely take this fight to the ground if she really wants to. And she can grind out for a win. But again, I'm not confident in her because Lara could also win, but I'm going to go with Bennett for the win here. And I'm going to say Bennett by decision, guys, but Lara could also win, so be careful with this one, okay? I'm not confident. But Bennett by decision. Next fight here, we have Neiman Gracie versus Mark Lemminger. This is a very close one too, guys. Gracie's stand-up has gotten a slightly better there. Uses stand-up to set up his BJJ with BJJ black belt. Gracie is going to look for a submission on you. If he gets to the ground, you could be in problems. His opponent here, Mark's going to have the better stand-up here, the heavier strikes. He can take this fight anywhere too, and he will also look for the submission. And just the distance in the range with the striking, he's not too bad with that. It's kind of a slow in the movement, but once Gracie tie up with you, Gracie will look to take you down. This could be a close fight here, guys, and I believe either guy here could win this fight because Mark is not a bad fighter. So either guy here could possibly win, but I'm going to go with Gracie, and I'm going to say Gracie by decision, but I'm definitely not confident in this one, guys. I could see this fight going either way. I could see Mark pulling off a win here, even by decision, but I'm going by Gracie by decision, guys. Next fight here, the main event, we got Yoel Romero versus Phil Davis. Yoel Romero here is very one of the guys. You guys know him from UFC. Explosive, powerful wrestling. Go for takedowns. Heavy-handed. We have a lot of fights here in the UFC. Pull off a lot of wins. I mean, the guy's a phenom, man. I mean, I've been in the game for a long time, right? And a strong wrestling base here. His opponent here, Phil Davis. Phil Davis is going to have the 5-inch of reach and a 2-inch of height. 5-inch of reach, yeah, which is friggin' massive, man. Davis is a pretty well-rounded guy too, also coming from UFC way back in the days. Have a lot of wins there over Machida, Glover Teixeira. I mean, this guy been in the game for a long time, man. He's a very well-rounded guy too, and can take this fight anywhere and has a strong wrestling base. The thing about this fight, man, with Yoel Romero, I feel Yoel Romero has slowed down. You know what I'm saying? From his last fights in UFC against Israel Asana, even Paulo Acosta, you can see that he's not the same anymore. And even on the face-off, like I said, guys, check out my Patreon account for the face-offs and prop bets. When I look at the face-off, I can tell that his body is I mean, he's still in shape, but you can see he's not as tight like he used to be. You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit on the swollen side. So, I could tell from his, fights in UFC that he's not the same anymore. It's kind of slowed down, I mean, which is normal, you know what I'm saying? After a while, you fight, eventually after a while, your body just kind of slow down after a while, man. You take a lot of hits in the fight, man, a lot of hits to the head. You put your body through a lot of physical abuse, man. So, and mental too, because, you're getting hit in the head back and forward. It can do a lot of damage to the body, right? And to the mind. So, for that reasons there, man, I'm liking Davis because I feel like Davis, he's still... has the pop. He still has the speed. He can get a takedown. He's still quick. He gonna have that 5-inch reach. He can stay on the outside. And we see when it comes to Romero with guys like that, that's long, you kind of have a hard time against them. But even though, like I said, Romero can close the distance and go for takedown, but Davis is a strong wrestler too. So I'm liking Davis for the win here. It's a 5-round fight. But again, don't sleep on Romero. Oh no, it's not a 5-round fight. It's a 3-round fight. Oh wow. 3-round fight, okay, but don't sleep on Romero because Romero has that overhand, man, and he has a power in that hand, and if he catches Davis, he could knock him out. It's possible, you know, if he still possessed that. But Yoel Romero hasn't been using that in a while. You know, he didn't use it against Israel, and neither Paula Castro, neither Robert Whittaker. You know what I'm saying? Even the Robert Whittaker fight was close, but Luke Rockhold, he had 218. But as I said, he hasn't been looking the same. So I'm liking Davis for the win here, guys. And I'm going to say Davis by decision. All right? Quick look at the odds here, guys. You can see I'm flying through this, guys. Because this fight's about to go starting like, I believe it starts in like 4 hours or something like that. The odds here, Adam and Khalid. Oh, Khalid is freaking high. Wow, he's high. I don't really disagree because Khalid can take on Adams. But you never know in this game, man. You can take one shot from Adams' knee or elbow, and Khalid could be out. So I wouldn't parlay this too much. But I do feel Khalid should win this fight, but I would advise not to parlay too much, okay? Grant Neal and Alex. Grant Neal is kind of high too. But I can see Grant Neal taking on Alex, possibly ground and pound him. So I don't really disagree with that. I feel Grant Neal is better in every department, stand-up and the ground. Brand Parisian and Christian Edwards, yeah, Christian is going to be super high. I do believe Christian should win this fight, but I wouldn't parlay too much. But I mean, with Ben Parison has the ground, the submission, but coming off a leg injury, he broke his shin. And Christian Edwards is a rangy guy. He's good in every department. I mean, the odds are high, but I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But I wouldn't parlay too much. Okay. Georgi underdog, Sheila Rogers favorite. Close to even fight. I like in Georgia for this, but I could see, you know, Rogers making edge out here. But I mean, I just feel Georgia is good. You know, the mental and physical is that good in every department. You know, just as good as Rogers, but maybe better, right? So it says underdog for Georgia, but I'm liking Georgia for that one. So it's a close to even fight. So I don't really disagree. But you guys can go either way on that one. Lara and Bennett. They got Bennett as underdog. They got Lara as a freaking massive favorite. I disagree with that. Bennett is very experienced, man. Lara being so high, I disagree, man, because Lara can drop the ball. You know, if she gets taken down by Bennett, I mean, it's done. She's going to keep taking her down, grind her out. And Bennett is a freaking grinder, man. Lara got the kicks and, you know, can land some punches, but if she's unable to hurt Bennett, which, you know, she may not be able to, then, you know what I mean? Bennett going to win the fight. So I disagree with the odds in this one, guys. So I would have it more closer, very close to even. Maybe Bennett being a slight favorite here, man. I mean, just being honest with you. So be very freaking careful with this one. I disagree with the odds in this one. Gracie versus Mark. Gracie is super high favorite. I disagree. This is a more closer fight because Mark is not a bad fighter. I would say Neiman Gracie maybe could be the favorite, but maybe very, very close, like a 150 or something like that. So be very careful with this one. I can see this fight going either way also, man. Phil Davis and Romero. Got Phil Davis as favorite, very close to even. I don't disagree with this one. I don't disagree with this fight. It's pretty much a close to even fight. Got Phil Davis winning. Fights that I disagree with is a Mark Lemminger and the Gracie. I disagree with the odds in this one. I think Gracie is too high. Be careful. Lara and Bennett. I disagree with the odds in this one. I feel Lara is too high of a favorite. Georgia and Rogers. It's close to even, so I mean, either guy could win here, but I'm liking Georgie. And that's about it. Everything has looked pretty much decent. The Khalid, slightly high here, but he should win this fight. Just don't put him in too much parlay. So, and that's about it, guys. Check out my Patreon account there, guys. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be leaving the face-off picks on my Patreon account, which is not much changes on that one, just 1 or 2 slight changes that I saw in the face-off. I might be leaving some prop bets over there too, and that's about it, guys. One love out to everybody. You guys keep on kicking, and whoosh.